And it is a very special senior spotlight. I'm Logan Arblaster, and I have the honor today of interviewing my roommate and one of my best friends at Waynesburg University, Anthony DiFilippo. And Anthony, I know from my personal experience, he has put in so much hard work in his 4 years at Waynesburg University. But Anthony, I'll start you with this, and I have a few questions for you. But the first one off the bat, what brought you to Waynesburg University?
Well, I feel like it's almost a staple here at Waynesburg University in the communication department, but I had not heard about Waynesburg. Even coming into my senior year of high school, I had no clue what I wanted to do as far as the next steps went. But I found out through Lanny Fratteri, the 33-year Pirates broadcaster, that there was even a communication department at Waynesburg, and that's when I really got immersed into everything Waynesburg embodies. The second I stepped on campus for my first tour, I think I did 2 or 3 tours here, doing the football truck and a football production, touring the 4th floor itself, and then just a regular campus tour. And I realized that they really do care about their students here. They care about the hands-on work and preparing you for the next steps. And I truly am blessed and grateful that I found Waynesburg and that Waynesburg found something in me and used me to my full abilities as a student. It was absolutely incredible. And I met some great people like you, Logan.
Thanks, Anthony.
Absolutely.
When you talk about everything that the communication department has here, you hear so many great names go on to do so many great things, and I think you're going to be one of the next ones here.
Thank you.
But I will say it's not just about the academic side of things. You also, people call college the greatest 4 years of your life, and for the social reasons too. So can you kind of walk us through some of the best experiences you had outside of the classroom?
Well, outside of the communication department, or at least outside of the classroom, a lot of the experiences you really have here do come with other people inside of the communication department, whether it be friends, colleagues, professors. I think everybody does such a fantastic job just making you feel like you're part of a proverbial family here on the 4th floor of Beal Hall. My first experience with WCTV was hosting a freshman panel of Plead Your Case. Logan Lepiscopo, who's gone on to do some fantastic things up in Erie, Pennsylvania, was really the first producer who really threw me into things here on the television side. And since then, it's really been a blur. I can't believe 3.5 years have really gone by. As of recently, I've been able to go with the baseball team on a trip to Florida, Fort Pierce, Florida for a week. And then just a couple of weeks ago, I got to call an overtime game between Waynesburg and Pitt Greensburg in the ECAC semifinal. So Logan, if I were to pick out one moment, I don't think I could concretely do that for you, but just those are just a couple of the memories that I've had over the last 3.5 years.
And out of all of those memories, one of them that you've been able to hone in on the most, one of the skills you've been able to hone in on the most of those experiences is play-by-play announcing. Mm-hmm. And you are a sports media announcing major here at Waynesburg University. You had the chance to call several baseball games. You mentioned the trip to Florida. That was a big deal, as well as basketball games. You got very good at that, mm-hmm. and football games. So when you look back on all of the games you've been able to do play-by-play for, what are some of the games that stick out to you as your favorite?
I think my all-time favorite game that I did here at Waynesburg was this past spring. It was with Brett Gambita, who's the executive editor of the Yellow Jacket right now. It was a Geneva-Waynesburg men's basketball game. It literally came down to the wire. It was like one team would have a 9-point swing, and then the other team would come back, tie it up. And unfortunately, it came in a Waynesburg loss. But that final clip, that final call of the Geneva player, Ryan Raychick, who had over 30 points, I believe, that day, shooting that final jump shot to nail it for the Geneva Golden Tornadoes was one of the best. And then another one that I had, I know you said just one, but I really can't pick one out of the 60-plus games that I'm sure I've done here in my time at Waynesburg, was in Fort Pierce, Florida. It was a Jordan Mosley walk-off base hit. Michael McKenzie and I had the opportunity to call that game. And then, of course, the overtime winner that Amanda Pepe just had. So there's 3 for you. I know you asked for one, and I went a little bit off topic, but it's so hard, like I said, it's so hard to just choose one moment out of every single moment I've ever had here.
I mean, there's so many days that go by in a 3.5-year span. You're graduating in December. There are a lot of graduates in May. So you've even had that many experiences in a very condensed amount of time.
That's right.
One other thing I wanted to ask you, Anthony, is for some advice. Now, you're a guy that you went to halfway across the country for your internship, and if you hear advice from other people, they might tell you you should try to get an internship in news and try to get one in sports. And you were a guy that was able to do both.
Yeah, and I was really able to hone in on news while in my 8-week internship in Mobile, Alabama, WKRG News 5. And that was a super fun experience for me. I was a guy who didn't want to go into news after college before that experience. I was a guy who was a little bit trepidatious about the whole news side of things. And then I went and did that experience, and it has completely opened up a whole new world to me, to the point where that's going to be probably my most likely landing spot after Waynesburg. All of the stations that I've been talking to, I believe I have it whittled down to somewhere under 5. I can't give exact specifics as far as all that goes because the interview process is still ongoing with some of those stations. And then this past spring, this most recent spring, I had the opportunity to do an external internship, I guess, with the Pittsburgh Penguins radio network. And that was a super cool opportunity that I was able to find. But none of those opportunities would have been made possible if not for the skills that I was able to learn and develop at Waynesburg University. So my advice would be, go do it all. Do news, do sports, especially if you're a sports broadcasting major. Be able and open to learning new sports. I was a guy who didn't know basketball, and that was the first game that I brought up when I talked about all the games I've play-by-played here at Waynesburg. So just be confident in yourself and be open to trying new things, and doors will just fly wide open for you. That's my main advice.
You're a very versatile guy in the media field, there's no doubt about it, and that is something that has been preached to us since day one. If you can be a 5-star, 5-tool athlete, in a sense, a 5-tool broadcaster, that's going to give you a better chance to have more avenues open when you are going about your job searching process. So with that, I have to ask you the final question I have. Do you have any future plans for us?
My future plans right now, like I just talked about, I'm talking with a couple of news stations right now. I won't have a concrete answer by the day of graduation, but I will say I have an in-person interview 3 days after graduating with a news station. I do not believe I can say on the air, but stay tuned because shortly after graduation, my future plans should be in the works and should be open and announced.
All right, Anthony. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Logan. I appreciate it.
Our friendship, to me, matters
personal
beyond
level,
words,
absolutely.
and there is absolutely nothing better than the friendship that we have. So I appreciate it very much. Not just that, but also rooming with me and putting up with me for as long as you have. So
it was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, Anthony, and thank you guys for watching another Senior Spotlight on WCTV.
This has been a production of Waynesburg Community Television.